Hi friends, welcome to tutorial Ace, and in this video you are going to learn AuthGuard, and we will be implementing this AuthGuard later in another application, register and login. So the question is, what is AuthGuard? Before you go into the details of what is AuthGuard, let's understand this with example. Suppose there is an office. Inside the office there are two sections. One is private area and there is another public area. To enter a visitor to enter into the public area doesn't require any permission. Any visitor can visit the public area. On the other hand, if the private area, if a user tries to enter the private area, there is a guard and a manager. There are two important persons involved here to protect the private area. The first one is manager and the second one is guards. Remember, the role of the guard, the function of the guard, the work of the guard is just to check if manager has issued ID card or not. If the visitor doesn't have ID card, then the guard will stop. So that is the important functionality. That means guard doesn't have permission on his own to allow or disallow. It is the manager who tells the guard want to allow and want not to allow. But for public area there is no restrictions. This applies to private area only. So a person can enter only if manager has issued or has granted permission. Only then this guard will allow to this person to enter into the private area. Now what happens, the manager grants permission to this person, this visitor, and then this guard allows him to enter into the private area. So that is the hypothetical or imaginary concept of guarding. Now let's come to our Angular application. So suppose this section is whole section, this whole section is Angular application. Now inside the Angular application there are few components: profile components, dashboard components, home components, about and contact, etc. So these are public sections. That means to visit these pages, to enter into the pages, to view these pages, one doesn't need permission, but without permission anyone can see these pages. But to enter into the profile, to enter into the dashboard, one requires permission. So who will give permission? Service. Inside service it will return either true or false, true or false, based on API request. Okay, so if it says okay true, here the service tells the AuthGuard that okay true, that means these visitors will be allowed to enter into this area. And here in this case this is profile.ts file, dashboard.ps file, and then authguad.ts file, and visitor in normal visitors, about, home component, etc. So this is the basic concept that how this whole application of AuthGuard works. So remember once again, there are two main important parts here: service and AuthGuard. Okay, so inside service, the service is responsible for issuing true or false. So based on that, AuthGuard will tell the router, our router to allow the visitor to enter or not. So now let's get back to our real-time application, and we will be creating a new project, and I will show you in real-time application that how this whole AuthGuard and service will work. So now stay connected and let's see further. Now let's go to CMD. So I'm going to use this node.js command prompt, then my D drive, cls cd Angular 12. Here ng new guard example. So our project name is guard example, okay, or you can say ng guard example, that will be better. ng guard example. Now press enter. Now here cd and then press this ng serve o, so that it will open directly into the browser. Oh, double hyphen should have been there. Anyway, let's open it into the browser, localhost 4200. So once the server will start, it will show us here. Since it's still compiling, that is why it's taking time. Now let's refresh, and you can see our application has started. Now the next task will be to create P components. Control C, then Y and CLS. So NGGC, that means Angular create component. First will be home. First component we are going to create home. Press enter, and then now the next one will be profile. Before that, let's open our project here, folder. So inside my D drive, Angular 12, then ngguard, which one is that? This one. Now click on src, then app. Now right click here, new file, then create a file called approuting.module.ts. So we will keep all the routing module here in this file. Okay, just import these two files here, ng module and routes and router module, and then our components. Say import home component, home from home component. And then here routing, and this one for our dashboard component. There is profile. Okay, so first one is home, then another one is profile. Inside that, profile component.ts. If you want, then here you will write profile, and then let's create one more component called dashboard. NGGC dashboard, so that we will import that one also. So we'll write here import dashboard dashboard from dashboard is still being created, that's why. Oh, what happened? NGGC, there will be space actually. Dashboard, this one. Dashboard. Okay, now const routes, then routes this home component where component home component, this one, so automatically it will create here. Similarly, this is home component for home page, and then this will be when user will click on home, and then this dashboard. So actually it will be class name, quick fix. Oh. Dashboard component. So this will be the name here, and also we have one more. This is dashboard. Let's bring one more, and that is profile. Then profile component. Okay, so first one is home page. When user will not enter anything, then this will come when we'll be creating home, then home component, dashboard. So currently we have not authenticated any of these, so user can come on widget, user can see or visit any of these 4 pages currently, but later we will put permission here, we put restriction in these 2 components where only the logged in user will be able to come here. So one more component we need to create, and that is okay, so let's keep it. Now we will create one service, what I just mentioned later, service.ts file we need to create. And yes, here we need to call ng module, this provider we will call later. Ng module imports router module, and then forward routes, and then router module. Now this one we will have to call here app module. Okay, import app module from app routing module, this one. Now this one need to be called here in import section, not all, this one just import section. Okay, so now we can see into the browser calling this component. Let's see, refresh it. Oh, we need to restart ng-serve. Once compiled, then once again it will start. Okay, now it has started. So what is happening here? Let me explain. Currently this one is being called, this, right? Yeah, and one more thing we need to write here in app component, here let's delete this and then router outlet. Okay, now let's check. So once I just put this code router outlet, then you can see that home component is being called. Home works. That means now let's compare here. When you are calling this, that means home component will be called. Now if you write home, then that time also this will be called. Let's check. You can see same component is being called. Now if I, so these are the alias of this component, means in browser if we write this, then it will open this one. Dashboard works. Okay, but what we want is that this dashboard should be opened only when user is logged in. Now let's create ng g then service. It's asking what name would you like to give, so I will give it auth. So the file name is created now, auth.service.ts. auth.service.ts, this one. The question is, what is the difference between normal class and service class? If this code exists, then it becomes service. @injectable provided in root. If it is written, that means the class changes to service. Now we need to write code here. We will write a very simple code here. If is logged in, false. That means this is manager, this file. Okay, this auth.service.ts is actually a manager which is giving permission that initially no one will be allowed to enter into the private area. Okay, initially it will say false. Okay, that means no one will be allowed to enter into the private area, but if API will allow, then this service will also allow. So for the time being, none will be allowed to enter into that area. That is we have written, and this permission, this ID card will be passed to AuthGuard, which we are going to create now. And now this service we need to call into app routing here. And if you remember, I had commented, so actually this code we will have to enable. That means this auth service will be available throughout these applications, in all application, complete application. Now let's go here and create our AuthGuard. So what is the command? ng generate guard. In case of service you need to write here service, but in case of guard we need to write here guard. Then the name is auth. Just press enter. So here you can see there are 4 options. Which one? It is asking me which one I want to activate. First one is can activate, can activate child, can deactivate, and can load. So let's see what is this. So here what is can activate? If it is can activate, then it controls if a route can be activated. It checks if the main route will be allowed or disallowed. Can child activate? That means if the child of that route can be activated or not. Can load? That means it controls if a route can even be loaded. This becomes useful for lazy loading feature modules. And can deactivate, it controls if the user can leave a route. No, that will. So these are 4 which you are prompted to, that which one you want to activate. For the time being we are working with this can activate. which will work on main route, not the child. So press enter and this authguard.ts is created. Now if you open this file, you can see it is already few lines of code which are written here. First one is injectable, and all these are automatically coming here, and observe rjx for observable, and here by default this can activate always return true. So based on API we will write here if it's true or false. First we will call here auth service, because it is the manager auth service which will tell to this auth whether it should return true or false. So now the code will be, just comment this or delete this, and it will be like this. If auth.service, if this .auth.logged it is logged in true, then it will say okay fine, or else it will say you are not authorized to enter into this. Okay, so this message it will show if the user is not logged in. So why it's showing error? We need to call here constructor, then private auth instance of auth service. Okay, because this is called dependency injection. We are injecting this service here and we are creating alias, and that alias we are passing here. And as you know, inside this file we have created this each logged in. So currently if you go back to this service, here it is saying return false, right? That means no one is allowed to enter into the private area. Now we need to make one more modifications in the page in app routing. Here we need to apply the AuthGuard, and also we need to call here import AuthGuard this. Okay, and we will apply into these two pages the AuthGuard. We will write here comma, then can activate AuthGuard, and here also, because in these two pages we want private, so here there are two. Okay, so this is the whole scenario. This manager auth service is telling that these two pages are private, so don't allow anyone to enter. So now if we go to the browser, before going to browser, let's once again ng-serve, then go to the browser. First this is home page. Let's first compile, then okay, now refresh it and you can see home page we can open. But if we try to open here dashboard, then we get this message, because manager has told that anyone who wants to enter into this page, the manager is saying to the guard that don't allow anyone to enter into dashboard. Similarly, if any user tries to open profile, same message will be shown here. So let's review once again that how the whole process works. This is dashboard and profile. These two are private, right? We have defined here through AuthGuard that these two will be private. Apart from that, any other pages will be not private. To making that private, we need to first create service. Inside service, it is defined, which is telling this guard if it should be allowed or not allowed. So where it is written, if you see, it is written here that it will be lot or not. So this is, remember, this is hard coded currently. Okay, we will write here service. So suppose from API auth equals to, we are just hard coding here. So API is returning 1, that means true. Okay, if the result, so we are just hard coding here, but actually this result will come from API. So we have recorded one book. Go to YouTube and then raise, so answer playlist, you check here.
This is how fast.
So I have implemented the real-time API and AuthGuard in this video. Okay, so please check this video where you will get that how in real-time implementation, that means how with API you can get this result, true or false. But in this video I'm just putting here hard-coded 1 because I wanted to make this tutorial simple. I didn't want to make this complex. So once you learn this properly, this video is very important to understand the AuthGuard. Once you understand this, then I recommend you to check my real-time API based true or false. So we will write here if this dot auth equal to 1, then it will return true. Else it will return false. Here true, or it will return false here. So based on this, now if we try to open here, sorry, actually this will be false. If API is providing true, that means user will be logged in, or else it will say false. Now if you open our application in browser and check here dashboard, then you can see it is done and it is allowing me to enter into the dashboard. But if we change here, API is returning 0, that means false, then what will happen? Let's open here. Instantly it is saying that you are not authorized to enter into this area. Neither this dashboard nor the profile page will be allowed to open. Same error we will get. So hope you understand this video, and if still you have not subscribed my channel, then please subscribe and also press bell button so that you will get always my latest video. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.